Somebody's trying to sabotage me talking.
Yeah,
I will not stand for it.
oh my God, that's super annoying.
Yeah, I don't know why. You're so good on my end every time.
I wonder if it's my Wi-Fi.
Perplexed. So it probably is a Wi-Fi issue.
You're so muted, like I just cannot hear you. You start okay, and then something happens. Sit back again and see if that's okay. Now talk.
Hello.
Yeah, that's better.
Maybe I'm too close to the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Better?
Yes. Yes.
So I was saying that my youngest, who was around winter, tank tops, flip flops, but she was raised in the heat. So it was little, I'm like, aren't you freezing? So there's a saying, I don't know if it's true, that if you're raised in the heat, your blood is thinner to be able to handle the heat, right? And northerners have thicker blood to withstand the cold. So northerners go places like Florida or.
You got to start that again. You just went underwater. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Starting again.
Start with the blood.
So I think it's your Wi-Fi because you just went in and out for a second. But what I've heard is, no?
I can hear you.
Okay. I just was like, I don't want to talk a whole paragraph and be like, start again.
You want me to cut you off sooner?
Yes. Unless you like hearing me sound like Dory or Nemo.
I do actually. I love Dory. Keep fun swimming. What does she do? Swimming.
Swimming. Just keep
swimming. I actually love her.
She is probably the most like us. And I'm like, wait, what did you say? Because I do forget.
Yes.
I will say something so profound, and then somebody like, repeat that. And I'll be like,
it's gone.
And it's never coming back.
I can't hear you. Oh, you were whispering? You tricked me.
I was just saying that I've heard this saying that northerners have thicker blood to withstand the cold. I wish I knew sign language because this could go so much. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? No. This is going to be the best 30 minutes of our lives.
Were you tricking me again?
No, I was talking.
I'm trying to know I was talking.
Okay. Maybe I'll just be quiet. And you can, I'll go. We can do a whole podcast. I was like,
no. Don't do it. Was that God? No, we're praying. No. You don't get your prayer answered. Oh my God.
Funny thing is, I can't see. I'm very blurry. And I have glasses, readers, but I like them for a headband rather than to wear them. I prefer them here. Oh. And then I'm like, where are my glasses?
Where are those darn things?
And now I see clearly. I can see clearly. What is? Oh,
so you couldn't see really? Like when you're sitting back like that, you're like.
Yeah, I see I don't see any detail. Like your face is a blur. What? If I take these off. Hi, Blur. Hey, Paula.
Oh. Man, I have to have my eyes to see. I cannot. I get so mad at my eyes if they don't focus. I'm like, you better focus like right now.
You look at them, you better get it together.
Yes. Like, I'm not playing with you eyeballs.
Maybe I should start talking to my eyes. My mother said with her migraines that she would talk to it and it would go away. She would quiet the noise, find the nerve, find the ache, travel through it to the starting point, and you go away. She said it worked.
Dude, I believe that.
But that's what she said. She said she talked to it. So
I believe that. Because
words are powerful.
Oh, yeah, we are in control. Like what we say and what we declare, that's like everything.
Everything. I'm learning to speak more good than negative or bad, because so much of our lives we spoke only about the bad. So I do see that I do feel that words are powerful, that it can change your mood. It can change your thought process. So I can now see.
Eyes, I command you to focus.
Eyes, I command you to focus. I can see.
You can see?
You're a little clearer.
See?
The little box where I'm at, I just see hair. I see like, but I like, who are you? I don't know. Where's your nose? Oh, there it is. Boop. But you, I can see a little clearer.
Yeah. I think that's all you have to do. But there are eye exercises and stuff like that, I think that I've seen. Also,
Could you
talking.
demonstrate?
What?
Could you demonstrate?
No, I don't know them. I think you have to look out a window and and like look into the distance and then look back into your like
Your chi or
your eyes, and then you look out into the distance. I don't know, it's something. Yes. Something.
kind of like it.
And you're like training your eyes.
There is a search engine that we could maybe find. We need an assistant. Look that up.
Google that, please. Get back to me.
Let us know.
But let's talk about that, like, because words, and then not only the words, but knowing that you have the power. Like, I think that's key for the words, because I think a lot of times we say words and we're like, I'm just saying them. I'm not really in control of them. Or I'm just thinking my thoughts, but I'm not really in control of them. They're just here. And that's true, because I do think thoughts come and go, because last night I had a really bad dream and I had to wake up and be like, what the fuck? Oops, sorry. No, I'm going to say it again. I had a really bad dream and I was like, what the fudge?
Fudge.
Yes. And I didn't like it. And I was like, no, that's not my dream. So I couldn't really breathe very well. Sometimes I wake up and I know I'm having shallow breathing. Like it's just like right there. It's not real breathing. And I feel, I don't know, maybe it's allergies, whatever. I don't know what it is. I don't care, but I'll start breathing intentionally, deep, deep breaths. Then I fell asleep after I did that. And I had this terrible dream. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm doing.
So then you woke up and you changed your thought process.
Yes, I woke up and I said, no, that's not what I'm going to be using my dream time for. And sometimes if you don't know these things, I feel like in the past I would be like, oh, what was that dream saying to me? Oh my God. No, I think maybe
yeah.
And I think maybe some dreams do talk to you, and I'm good with that. But then some dreams are just so random. And I think it's like an accumulation of things I've heard over the past few days, disturbing things in the media, things that are maybe on the like social media or whatever, like I flip through, but I'm not really paying attention, but my mind picks it up.
Yep.
Or I have a real quick conversation about it, but it's like there, and then my mind just goes crazy with it. And then in my dream, it just decided to like
put pieces together in a weird, distorted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I've learned in my older age that words are really powerful. How I speak to people, how I allow to be spoken to is
how
crucial.
we speak to ourselves.
That's the biggest one. I think that we will somewhat, as humans, we try to think about other people when we speak, or what is acceptable, what they will hear. But how we talk to ourselves is like the worst. Like I am the meanest to myself. I say horrible, mean, demeaning things that I would never accept any longer. I had to clean that up because I did accept it for a long time, but I will no longer accept, but I will still say the things to myself. So, I guess it's like finding, because almost like affirmations, right? I think we talked about this, you and I, and about writing things kind about yourself. And at first, when you start, you're like, I have long hair. Like you don't even like, it's so foreign. It feels so out of body. It feels insincere. And you're like, I have long hair. My eyes are brown. I have a cute shirt on. Like but if you do the work, but see, so many people give up because they're like, this is not working. But it's because you have to, like, almost like an athlete. Some coaches, like, you get them at their best when they push through what they never thought they could do, or they could never see themselves. But once you push them past that point, or you get them to that point, it's like the Quan, right? Reference to Jay McGuire if you're old enough.
Yeah.
So I've learned, and I think you were saying that you have done the work, like constantly writing these affirmations and changing your thought process to now you maybe believe more than you did. I don't know if you believe it all. Like my
belief is just something you think over and over and over. That's all a belief is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, when I found that out, I was like, what? I thought I was like so committed to something, like it was so much more than that.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's just something you've thought so many times, you believe it.
And you thought so many times, and because I think maybe it's for me, I probably need to think it and say it. I have like blockage when it comes to believing good things about myself. So I have to constantly, I used to look for it for other people to say, and I realized that doesn't last. If I only feel good for a moment because you said, oh, you're pretty today. I'm like, oh, Paul said I look pretty today. But then as soon as I walk away and I look at myself, that's gone. I'm like, oh, my nose is big. My eyes are dark. I have gray hair. I'm getting a triple chin. I like all the things, right? So then one, why do we do it to ourselves? But two, what is so hard to hold on to? But now hearing you, it's like, well, God, well, maybe if I just say those things more and more and more to myself, I can get a belief in those things that my nose really is big. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, and
But
it's like,
but it's beautiful.
some things you just have to come to terms with. Same with me. Big, but hey, the completeness of it somehow works. So, but
it's the thought and the action, because you need, right? Because I don't think I could hold on to things if I just thought it. I need to kind of hear it and think it, hear it, and at a repetitive
well,
balance.
the
In
spoken word is like next level. Yeah, I think you're talking about the levels. I think, yes, absolutely. There is levels to enforce it. And also, another very key component is cutting off the bad talk. Because you can't just, I heard a podcast yesterday, and he was like, he's another psychiatrist, doctor, like PhD, Harvard, all the,
yeah,
and he was saying, you can't, all the things. You can't just, oh, Anna Monk, you can't just put sugar in pee water. He's like, you can't put sugar in piss water and think it's going to taste good. He's like, you have to clean it out.
Purify.
So those thoughts, it's like purifying your mind. It's like when they come literally, and oh, Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's the one a year ago I got started on because of my daughter and my son, I think. Maybe my daughter-in-law. Like people just got turned on to Dr. Joe Dispenza. He says that. I forgot.
And this is why I love you. And you have this man that like has all these things. And I'm over here like, girl, I would listen to Bunny XO. I love her podcast but I just feel like, I mean, she talks about a lot of interesting things, but she talks to a lot of people with trauma because she had a lot of trauma. So I like her, but hopefully I'm really just filling in space. So you can tell me what you forgot.
Wait, what do you like about, well, I can't remember. And
so she has her own entity and her own mega personality by herself. She is married to somebody that's in an music industry that is now huge. And I love that, but I love that she tries to find her individuality within that. And people try to be like, well, you're with him, but she's been doing her thing. But she was a prostitute. She was a drug addict, like did some hardcore shit in life, been through some hardcore shit in life. And so I find similarities. I didn't do all the things, but trauma is trauma is trauma. And seeing people move through, talk about, filter, process in different ways, because different people, I've seen another podcast, somebody does it another way. Like I can't cry all the time. So some of those podcasts I kind of dip in and I dip out because I will spend more time crying than getting tools. Bunny XO, for me, when she talks, I get tools, or the guests that she has on and you talk about them surviving something or learning from the thing and it didn't break them. You know who else I love? I'm sort of ADD, but do you ever listen to Shia LaBeouf talk about his journey?
Oh, not really. But in the past, I think I heard something on social media. And one thing he said, I think I did like, but I don't remember. Again, me with the memory today.
I gravitate to that. Like people that are like, my shit stunk for whatever the reason, but I did the work and I'm doing the work and I'm finding tools from other resources like to get there and to, so I just, that trickled me because you mentioned like you listen to this podcast or you listen to this person that your kids, introduced you to, is because there's so many resources. There's so many ways to get it. I think you just need to find what fits you. Like I may not have somebody who's got like a PhD, which is not bad. I'm just saying like, but I like that dirty, bleedy fingers, broken nails, because that's sort of how I look at my journey. So I see similarity in it, but I like that they used it in a way and they talk about it in a way that is almost what we're talking about, just using the positive, the words of, because people come after her. Like, you ain't nothing but a whore. And she's like, well, I'm a whore that makes a lot of money doing what I love with the people that surround me, love me. Like, I'm like, oh, I like that. Just, ooh. Or finding value in lost it. So
I'm just really good with letting you talk today because that fucking dream fucked me up. I'm not gonna lie. I'm over here trying to get it together, but yes, I feel you on that because I feel on the journey, it's a progression. I feel like you got to start, you got to get met where you're at, and you got to tune into what works for you so that you can find, like you said, find tools to help yourself because we spent so much time in it, and then we spent so much time, I think, just trying to get out of it. And now it's like, okay, well, now we need to get it out of us. And so it's like, you got to find the people and the tools to do that. And so Dr. Joe Dispenza, his thing was when that stuff comes to you, change. You just, you immediately scream, change, change. Or you interrupt I like science of it. So you interrupt the neural pathway. So if something is just So even if something is just fucking haunting you and just coming for you, you like jump up and down or go fucking just run, like just run, dance, scream, just do some movement that's really
hurt my neck. Trying to do what you did. I'm sorry, continue, but literally all of a sudden I'm like, I'm not gonna turn my neck tomorrow. But I agree. I'm listening. Like
the old age.
you have I'm like,
I'm forgetting. You're injuring yourself off very small movements.
I'm healed, I'm healed, I'm healed, I'm healed.
No, for sure. Like the thing, that's so real though. That is
Right?
so real. Because you
Coachable.
could have gone two ways with that. Oh, I'm so this is gonna last for weeks. I'm not gonna be able to move. Oh my God. And you're just like, what? Talking
Yeah.
that shit into existence.
You have taught me that. You mentioned the neural pathways before, and I think I used to go dark, down, deep, fast, and I'd be down there. And I think sometimes I pull you down there with me, or you were already down there. Like, what took you so long? But
Depend on the day.
depends on the day. I think that now both of us have done the work because we're very good at being like saying something that's not, on the up and up, and being like, all right, nope, I'm not gonna do that. So no. Anyway,
Not today.
we try to move on to the next. Where before I'd be like, well, but and I will say it is very hard to get out of that. I mean, we're talking years of trying to get to where we are today. I mean, Paula, years. I mean, I can off a rip. I think the oldest one, youngest, she's 22, and I think it really got bad when she was 2. So 20 years to try to change the neural pathway. I think when I say that, I feel very smart. The neural pathway. But I think I do it more now because you have gave me that gift of a tool. And we didn't have people that helped us build. First of all, gave us a box to put tools in. Didn't get that. Didn't give us any tools to put in that fucker. Didn't have that. You and I have been scrounging for used tools, leftover tools, brand new tools. We'd be like, one day.
Literally. That's the thing. That's the thing. We have been trying to find them. We have actively been trying to figure this shit out. It's not like we just rolled over and accepted it. We were trying to figure out a better way. Like, I don't know why we did that. We do. We've always done.
The God in us.
The God in us, literally. It just was so much more powerful than the bad. That's it. We just kept rising back up out the ashes. Boom.
Literally.
Boom.
I had a person in my life tell me, quote unquote, bitch, you just won't stay down. And I'm thinking back now, like, I sure did not. Come hell or high water, I was like a fucking, those toys when we were kids and they had sand in the bottom. You used to punch them and they would go, bam, whip.
Oh, yeah.
Or something. That was us. Like, bam, and I'm back. I'm back. Keep trying, you're not going to get me. And I make joke of it and I make light of it now, but we know the journey and we know what that felt like and didn't mean not getting knocked down, didn't hurt or leave scars or bruises. But we always got back up, and we've always been a scavenger of tools because we've always been searching for the light. We've always been going, like when they say the light's at the end of the tunnel or the pot of gold is at the end of the rainbow, we have always been forging for that. Hands and knees, no food, no clothes, no water, just, we just kept going. And the main thing I really think that we teach our kids, and I know that I teach my granddaughter because she literally affirms me, and she'll be like, well, I need to get that out of my toolbox. I need to have better listening ears. And I'm thinking, how? I'm gonna cry. But that is because we got here. That is something that I've instilled in my lineage. So now my 5-year-old granddaughter says, I went in my toolbox and I need to get better listening ears.
Oh my God.
I talked about, all kinds of, she's 5, so she's doing all the things. I just want to touch on something, but I also realized that I refuse to teach her. No, I am teaching her to be fearless rather than to be fearful. I don't give in to the fear. When she says I'm scared, I'm like, well, let's go look at it. Let's go do it together. Because I also feel like in our toolbox, that is very keen because life is scary. But if we don't at a young age get a foundation to be fearless, I realized because everything scared me. So I wouldn't do things. I was like, but I can't, but I won't. But then what? Instead of being like, let's go see, let's go figure it out. Let's do it together. Or maybe I do it by myself. In my older age, girl, I've swam with sharks. I'm about to jump out of a plane. Like I'm doing these things that I'm like, but it's because I'm like, nope. The worst thing, so that toolbox, because mine's getting full. Like there's always more tools, but I got some tools. And the funny thing is, once we've scavenged for tools, isn't it kind of crazy that some of the tools we didn't even know how to use? Someone's like, but you had a screwdriver the whole time. And I'm like, I have had that rusty old thing the whole time, but I didn't know that I could use it. So I guess.
Yeah, literally. It's all been inside of us. Like I do a meditation. I meditate now because that's one of my tools because you got to find what works for you. Yeah. And the meditation I do clears my energy centers. Another name for those is chakras. Christian community doesn't like that, but it's scientific fact. We have energy centers in our body. And we've always had the power within us. And my meditation that I do before bed and in the morning when I'm not just totally crazy, affirms that. It's like you place your hands over this center and you say, I trust I have all the answers inside of me. And that's the thing. We always have all the answers inside of us. Like you said, the God inside of us, the higher power inside of us literally has brought us this far, has helped us. I feel like I used to be really super dense. Like I didn't think it took so long for me to understand something. Like I would just keep hitting the same beating a dead horse. Like I wanted the thing that wasn't working to work. So I would just try to force it to work instead of tune into, well, there's a different way that it could work.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, the tools, yes, like we've always had them. Just figuring out how to use them is really probably the key for us, because fighting for your better life or your better health or your better whatever, I think is the most fundamental. And thankfully, we had that part. Like we didn't want to stay down. We were trying to be the best. Like, okay, it wasn't always working, but that's what we were intending.
Yeah. Intention. Well, I will say this. Everybody needs a toolbox. Find your toolbox to each and everybody. You may have it and you may have one tool or multiple tools. Use that tool. You have it, it's there. You just have to shine a light on it. And maybe what you have is just a flashlight and you shine the light inward and it will kind of guide you hopefully to where your tools are. I think that every day we're using our tool in some form or fashion. It's not always to heal or build. I mean, it's always to build ourselves, but it's not always to heal something negative or hurtful. Sometimes it's just in a joyful moment, we also use our tools. And even your lockbox, I'm trying to be present. And so there's multiple uses for your toolbox. So I guess I'd say use it and use it the whole week. And so when we come back next week, I'm going to figure out, maybe I'll ask you what tool that you really found yourself using the most,
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So
maybe like identify them.
Yeah. And
because you're using them and you have them and they're always being shown to us. If we tune in looking for them and just understanding, it can come from anywhere. You could realize you have a tool through a movie or through staring at nature, and you look at a tree and you're like, oh my God, you stand so tall and so confident. And you're like, I have confidence. Like the tree is reflecting your confidence. You just, boom, had a moment right there. It's everywhere.
And affirm yourself. Say the good things. Maybe start off with one. I mean, I'm on 3 right now. I think you have a list of like 5 you said you do every day.
Do in the morning, tune in, like you said, to the positive. I tune in the morning because my brain had a bad dream or whatever happens during the night. You got to recalibrate.
You said that, yeah. So use that, affirm, use your toolbox. Have an amazing week.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing you guys next week. You guys tune in.
Come back. We have more to talk about. She's probably going to be talking more if we tune in at 9:30 a.m. I'm not really ready to talk at 9:30, but
yeah, we have to, our schedules are crazy, but just come back. We got more.
Yeah.
But, I am interested, maybe in the comments, kind of write the tool that you've been using. And if you don't want to use the verbiage of that, just say what helps you. It's that simple. Hey, I found prayer. I found this. I found meditation. I found
because maybe it will help us. Like we can help each other grow.
Have an amazing week.
Bye.
Yeah. I wish I was like, girl, did I have a drink too?
Cheers.
I already had. Cheers. Cheers.
Love you.
Love you too. I'll see you on the flip side.
Bye.
Bye, honey.